I'm back with another video book review. This one is not a video review of a food book, but rather a book called On the Edge of Greatness: Removing Mental Blocks That Kill Creativity. The book is written by local music teacher and musician Heidi Korte. She is providing music at St. Bartholomew's, where I am currently the priest. So what I really like about this book is how the idea of greatness is defined. What Heidi is trying to get at as she is talking about greatness. And I think the key phrase to this is found on page 18. Heidi writes, "Your reason for what you do should be to share your art and influence people with it. To communicate something that is inside you through whatever art form you partake in. You might end up being impressive, but having impressing be your primary motivator means that your art is all about status, when it should be about your audience and what you're trying to communicate." And this theme and idea continues in various forms throughout the book. One of the things that, as Heidi tells her story, you get both those moments of triumph, but also those moments of struggle. You see the real person behind the accounts that are being given. In addition to that, she talked with her students, and the students provide their stories as well. And then thirdly, she talks with people who are experts or professionals, people who have had to overcome obstacles to achieve a career in the creative arts. And she also covers artists from different areas of creative arts. It's not simply musicians. There are visual artists, there are written artists. So there's a good broad range of examples there. The book is divided up into 29 chapters, so they're all rather short, they're punchy. Each chapter includes a summary at the end, so the main points are recapitulated, and there's a couple of questions to enable the reader to do self-work. So one of the advantages of the book is that with so many chapters, it's great if you just want to take a little bite and then think about it. And then maybe come back a day later and read another chapter or two and think about it and work through some of the questions. There's a motivational aspect to this book, but it's not simply sort of getting you excited, getting your heart rate up, getting yourself into a mood. The motivation is also linked to behavior and practices. For example, on page 133, at the top of page 133, there's a mindful meditation. I have all that is required to move forward. I embrace the opportunity to complete what is in me to express. I focus my thoughts. I focus my energy. I complete my expression in a timely manner and am efficient in completing my goals. Others appear when I choose to have help. I rediscover my inspiration. I move with ease. Then right below it is a motivational moment. Put down the book and spend 30 minutes today working on a project you've forgotten about, even if you don't finish it. Try to keep any negative head chatter about it to a minimum and enjoy the process. Another example from page 107, mindful meditation. I choose reality. I embrace my path to my artistic expression. I have an abundance of inspiration. I choose to be focused. I am full of anticipation to see my future unfold. I engage with inspiration and see clearly. I am in touch with my purpose as I center myself in my heart. And then underneath that, motivational moment. Go spend an uninterrupted hour on your craft. Learn something new if you can. So there are motivational thoughts, encouragements offered, and then along with it, they're always tied into action that can be taken so that you can put what you're thinking into practice. So it's a very practical book. It's designed from teenage to about 35 for its target audience, but as someone who is outside of that target audience by 1 or 2 decades, I still found that there's a lot in this book that I can learn from and I can apply in my life. Another thing with the many chapters is, if there's a specific thing in your life that you have problems with when it comes to expressing your creativity, you can go to one of those chapters and start there. You don't necessarily have to start at the beginning of this book. So for example, if you have trouble with procrastination, you can go to the chapter on procrastination and start reading there. On the whole, I highly, highly recommend this book. Anybody, no matter their age, no matter what kind of creative activity they're involved in, can learn from this book. And it's the kind of thing, it's also the kind of book that's worth coming back to. A chance to go back and remind yourself of lessons that you've learned, but maybe in practice you've slid away from it for a little bit. You haven't put into practice as regularly the ideas that you've learned. So in the description of the video, I'll mention a couple of places where you can pick this book up. And I think it's a great learning tool for anybody, especially for creatives, but I think anybody can benefit from picking up Heidi's book.